Big box can and took that back to our terminal, and then we switched trucks. When I came in this morning, this truck, which I was assigned to, let's pay attention here. I was assigned to this truck this morning, but over the weekend the starter went out, so the truck was down. So I ended up driving our one and only Peterbilt, which is probably the best truck in our fleet. It's just that it's a Peterbilt. So if you're used to driving internationals and Freightliners and you jump in a Peterbilt, you'll notice that it has a completely different personality. They're much better trucks, but they're built quite a bit different than Freightliners and internationals. Let's see if we can find this can. 27517. The place where it should be is empty, which leads me to believe somebody else might have picked it up. Let me get a hold of dispatch and see if they know anything. So we talked to the tower, and can going up to the phone company has been grounded, which means they took it off chassis and put it on the ground, and now the phone company has to request that it be put back onto chassis, and that can take 1 or 2 days. So I called dispatch and let them know. And she says she has an LTL over here at Alpha 13 stall 8. We're at Alpha 12 stall 43. So yeah, we got this guy's Peterbilt. I remember the Peterbilt when it first came in was assigned to me, and I took it on a drive around the block, and I wasn't in a real good mood. I remember back then I thought I was going to be retiring, and I told him to give it to a new driver who had lots of experience. Alpha 12, stall 8, 57829. It's a much bigger truck. It's long. It's got a big 500 horsepower Cummins. It's the strongest truck, I think, in our fleet. 13 speed, which I'm not a fan of. So yeah, if you like Peterbilt's, nice truck. It's the second Peterbilt we've had in our fleet. We had a much older one years back, but we got rid of it or sent it to Maui. I think this can might be a little hot. Let's try to get this, see what happens. End of the day, we're lazy. So yeah, I should have got the camera to show you around, but Peterbilts, see where this, one other thing about a Peterbilt is, if I reach across here, I can't reach that door, right? If I was in a Peterbilt, I reach across like that, I can touch the door. They're much skinnier cabs, and it has advantages and disadvantages. One of the things that kind of messes you up as far as personality is that the steering wheel, instead of being here in the truck, is here, because the cab is much skinnier. So when you're looking over the cab, if you're used to this steering wheel and you get into this steering wheel, all of a sudden you're driving right on the curb because you're used to not used to being so close to the center of the lane. The other thing is, when you step out of the cab, you don't have this situation. Your tank sits all the way out here, so you can step out. It's much more comfortable getting in and out of the truck on a Peterbilt. At least the one we have. It's on a much bigger chassis. It's at least, I'd say the chassis is a good 2.5, 3 feet longer than this chassis. Was fun, but yeah, when they fixed the starter in this truck, they told me it was back up. Plus that truck belongs to one of the night drivers. It starts at 12, so I got back in this truck. So hopefully nothing is wrong with this trailer, because this time of day it's next to impossible to get anything fixed. Most things shut down in the freight industry. There we go, we're missing a light. Okay, let me fix that. Okay, so we got the light fixed. Got this light put in right. Got that one fixed also. For some reason this one's missing a light now. I don't know how that happened. terminal. There, the scan is. Switched from the Peterbilt over to a 334, which also belongs to one of the night drivers, but he comes in at 4 instead of 12. It's 313, so we gotta hurry up. I was given a lot of packaging material. We took that down to a show you company, or soy sauce company. The Campbell Industrial area stood by and offloaded it. And then took the empty back here to this terminal. At which point they gave me an LTL. We took that back to our terminal. And then they gave me the empty to be picked up from the pool supply, which we just finished up. And now this will be our 8th movement of the day. Time flies when you're having fun. Shipping terminal closes in 30 minutes. Making our way out of the shipping terminal. 51,000 pounds of consolidated freight headed back to our terminal. I don't think we'll be able to get it on the dock. Ah, this chair is so squeaky. I found an almost new chair in one of the parts trucks. Old truck that's being stripped. It's the exact same. It's truck 333 and this is truck 334. 333 blew the motor, so it's sitting in the back of the yard being stripped. Slowly but surely. I'm gonna somehow get that chair out of that truck and put it in this truck and see if it makes a difference. know when Amazon's opening either. The gas prices have come down a little bit. The cheap gas is $4.51 a gallon. It was up as high as $4.73, I think. And usually it's right around Memorial Day when it hits its peak. And then it slowly goes back down. They say that's cheaper than it was last year this time. I don't remember that. By 6 cents. Well, I don't remember. So we got the light in our favor here. We'll be able to merge right onto Nimitz Highway with no problems at all. Which is good when you got a heavy can. Make our 3-lane change right off the bat. Flags are flying off to the right there at McDonald's, 10 miles an hour. Temperature outside is 83 degrees. It's been a hot day. Now, that was one of the good things about that Peterbilt. I noticed that any truck that's got a big motor usually has a great air conditioning. 500 horse, man. I had it on the lowest setting and I was getting chilled out of the truck. This truck has a 310 horsepower Detroit diesel, I think. Oh no, it's a Cummins also. It is a Cummins. I got the AC on high and it's barely keeping up. If I had the choice between the two trucks, I'd pick this truck. It's just for the type of work that we're doing in the city like this. Even with all its flaws, this truck is much easier work. weekend went by in a blur. I did nothing but work on the house. Saturday we did a lot of wiring projects. I put in a new circuit breaker and put in a new line for there's a dedicated line for the office and all the computers, basically. And we had the space in the box. It was pretty easy to run the wires. My first job from 10th, 11th, 12th grade, my job after school was an electrician's helper, so I was pretty comfortable around electrical stuff. So we did that, then we changed out a bunch of outlets and switches that had never gotten done. So we moved in the house and changed out just about every switch and outlet that was not working correctly. They were all kind of worn out. But there was like a handful, 6 that were working good, and at the time we just didn't change them. So they hadn't changed them on Saturday. And then the kitchen light had a flicker in it, so we went and changed the ballast. We shampooed the carpet. So I feel like it's been a never-ending week of work. Kind of looking forward to Wednesday, my day off, and that's the day we sit down and do our portfolio. It takes an hour or two. But we can shut it down. Shut it down, shut it down. $3.45. So yeah, we came in at 5. We did 8 container movements. We did I think 4 or 5 movements with Peterbilt. Then we jumped on the International here and finished up the day. So I have no idea how many miles we drove, but average day is 60 to 80. I'd say we're between 80 and 100. Get out of here by 4 o'clock. Head on home. We got a stir fry on the mind, tofu and shrimp stir fry, along with some rice. And that's that's what's for dinner. Gonna have a little chow sum thrown in. That's like Chinese broccoli, I think. Back here tomorrow, and then we're off on Wednesday. But that is it for today. Thanks for watching. Aloha.